All right, hey everybody, I'm your host, Grande Gato, and this is 1995, The Roar, channel for the fans, by a fan, restoring the roar. Real quick, man, if you're new to the channel, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and all that other good stuff. I don't feel the best tonight, so I don't know if I'll go as long as I normally do, but I would be remiss not to give you my take on whether or not Carolina Panthers quarterback Bryce Young will be benched this season, and if so, who else is doomed to be benched, okay? With that being said, let me go ahead and start off by saying thank each and every one of you guys for allowing me the privilege of being your Carolina Panther concierge, liaison. You know what I mean? We have now reached 2,000 subscribers, so thank you for that so much. I appreciate that. And with that 2,000 subscribers, we do have a new sponsor on board with us, Book Seats. Book Seats. Real tickets, real moments, okay? Book like a hero. Your ultimate one-stop shop to plan and book your next fan experience. Book Seats, the link is in the description. Check those guys out, man. Most competitive deals out there for you guys, all right? With that being said, y'all, let's get into the first roll. All right, man. Real quickly before I continue with the first roll, make sure you guys sign up for the Fantasy Football League. Check out the community section. I'm giving you guys till next Saturday, right? I think we can have at least 3 leagues filled. If we can't get the rest of them filled, then I just start refunding people's money because I don't want to pull teeth. Okay, so let's get that fun. Let's get that filled. Let's get to have a good fun season. Now, with that being said, I want to talk about Carolina Panthers and just quarterbacks in general. Which quarterbacks are ranked to be benched or possibly could be benched this season? The fan side, as you see the article on the screen, had came up with a article back in June of 2025. June of 2000. Sorry, y'all. Give me a second. Not feeling good. Not feeling good. They came up with an article back in June 25th, 2026, right? And shout out to Samuel, West Virginia. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. We're gonna be all right. I got plenty of soup and all kind of other stuff. Okay. Thank you for that. With that being said, man, the fan side had 10 prospects that could come up with possibly being on the bench this year. I'm going to narrow that down to 5. I don't want to drag it out 10 and start doing a bunch of reaching, but I'm going to rank it from 5 to 1, okay? So if you're number 5 on this list, got a little bit of safety, but not really. Everybody's could be benched on this list. Number 1 is the most popular vote to get benched. With that being said, my first guy to get benched will be, the guy that's in danger of getting benched is Malik Willis, okay? Y'all bear with me, y'all. Not feeling the best, okay? Malik Willis. This guy is probably the most overrated quarterback on this list. If you don't remember, he came out of Liberty University. They had an outstanding year this year, okay? Outstanding year that year. He had those guys being competitive. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they were, they're a bowl team, if I'm not mistaken. But he was super hyped, you know what I mean? I know he had a great combine. Everybody was hooping and hollering about his arm, fantastic arm, and, just all that other good stuff here. But this guy's overrated, madly overrated. And the fact that he's in even a worse situation, you know what I mean, makes it not in his favor. Now, you'll ask yourself, if a guy got paid $67 million, how could he be in danger of getting benched? I honestly believe that Malik Willis is going to open up the window or open up the door, whatever way you niggas climb in the house. He's going to open up one of them for Lamar Jackson to come back home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Lamar Jackson is coming home, okay? And Malik Willis is going to be the catalyst that makes that happen here. Let's take a look at something here. Malik Willis was in the draft class of 2022. This draft class was so porous. I mean, this was a very, very porous draft class. They took only one quarterback in this first round in 2022. And guess what? He's on our roster. No, not Bryce Young, Kenny Pickett. A former first-round pick, Kenny Pickett, was the only quarterback taken in that year's draft class. Okay, so that just shows you how much faith they didn't have in any of those quarterbacks there, right? Now, the reason why I believe he will get benched, obviously, I believe that the Miami Dolphins aren't playing to be anybody's contender, right? I think they honestly are probably playing for either Julian Sayin, Archer Manning, or Dante Moore, or CJ Carr, whoever you believe that they will get. I think they're playing for that. And the reason why is when you look at the schedule here, or even Lamar Jackson, okay, Lamar Jackson contract is due. I don't know if the Ravens will re-sign him or he wants to come back home. He is from Florida, okay, Florida. If you look at this schedule for Malik Jackson, you got the Raiders, the Niners, the Chiefs, and the Minnesota Vikings, and the Cincinnati Bengals. There's a real strong chance that he could start off 0-5 to start the season off, okay? The Raiders might be his best bet, but I really don't believe that. I don't believe that they'll beat the Raiders, okay? When you look at the Niners, it's not even an afterthought. When you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, it's not an afterthought. You got the Minnesota Vikings there, and you got the Cincinnati Bengals. It's more than likely he'll start off 0-5, and I think, going into the New York Jets game, they could bench him, right, for Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers, a former Texas Longhorn. I don't think they necessarily believe in him, but he's on the roster, you know what I mean? So if he doesn't get benched coming out of the bye from the Cincinnati game, then it definitely will be after the New England game, okay? So let's take a look at the roster and why I believe he won't live up to the hype here. If you look at the roster that they put around Malik Willis, this is insane. Let me show you something, man. If you look at this roster. This roster is horrible, dog. You're talking about outside of Devon Achane. Devon Achane's Mr. Do-It-All. He's like the Black Christian McCaffrey. If you look at what they have around him offensively, you got Malik Willis, Jalen Tolbert, Caleb Douglas. There's nobody on God's green earth that deserves so much mediocrity. I mean, I also think Malik Willis is overrated, but my God, you got to help him out. People often talk about the Carolina Panthers roster, and I am a Panthers fan, but this is just downright despicable. You got one nigga and Devontae Achane, and then you got a bunch of just mad and creative players here, man. Malik Willis, Jalen Tolbert, and Caleb Douglas. I mean, and Greg Duce at tight end here, man. Pretty okay tight end there, but I just don't see him doing anything. Plus, with the schedule, it's not in his favor. If you want to flip it to the defensive side of the ball, man, not much over there. I mean, former first-round pick Penn State product Chop Robinson. Jordan Brooks, Texas Tech. I mean, it's just not a lot there. I would literally be launching to try to make it seem like this team would be good. But with that being said, I think the Dolphins know that. I think they're going after Lamar Jackson next year. If not Lamar Jackson, they're trying to go after another draft pick. Malik Willis is madly overrated. I don't think he has the skill set, nor does he have the weapons around him to make some noise. So, to me, he's the fifth most dangerous quarterback to get benched. Number four on this roster, y'all like Geno Smith? Geno Smith, that's right. Geno Smith, former Dave Canales prodigy here, a guy who Dave Canales solely gets a lot of credit for fixing him in Seattle, man. So, Geno, man, this is another situation where I don't think they necessarily believe in him, but he actually has weapons around him, right? This is almost like throwing darts at the wall. You hope one of them stick. When you look at what Geno's working with offensively, man, I mean, you're dealing with Breece Hall, you got Garrett Wilson, you got Omar Cooper Jr., former Indiana Hoosier, just coming off a national championship run. He's one of those guys that had 1 year wonder, right? 900 plus yards receiving, but you got and 13 touchdowns. So 900 plus and some change, and 13 touchdowns coming out of Indiana. So putting him outside of Garrett Wilson, I mean, that could be the spark that the team needs. And not to mention, you got Kendrick Sadiq, which is a vertical tight end, man, a guy who can stretch the seam of the field, right? Almost like a wide receiver. You can line him up on the slot as well if you want to play him as a wide receiver. So looking at this offense for Geno, he has weapons, man. He has weapons here, man. Not to mention, you got a couple guys on the offensive line as well. Ultimately, what it comes down to is, can they navigate this schedule? And can the defense help out Geno Smith? And can Geno Smith be the guy that Dave Canales helped mold there, right? So with that being said, let's take a peek at this schedule here, man. I honestly like the Jets to call it probably maybe, still a few wins here, okay? Tennessee and the Jets kick it off week 1. That's going to be a fun game, but I actually have Tennessee beating the Jets here, right? Tennessee beating the Jets, man. I think Cam Moore is going to have a second-year rebound. I don't know how much of a rebound would it be, but it definitely will be better than what you Titans fans have been accustomed to. You got Green Bay and Detroit. You got Chicago, man. So that's 1-3, right? The schedule is brutal, man. All these guys have one thing in common. Their schedule is not in their favor. Okay? They're going to have to play above their schedule, right? And unfortunately, Malik Willis going to have to play above his schedule and his talent. But at least Geno Smith has talent around him. But I'm looking at the Titans starting off 1-3, okay? And then they go and play the Cleveland Browns, which, they faced, Deshaun Watson. Maybe is this guy on this list? I don't know. Y'all let me know. Will he be on this list or not? You face Deshaun Watson and that team. I think it's going to be better than most people think anyway, defensively. And then you got the Patriots. You got the, Miami Dolphins, another guy, that we talked about earlier, Malik Willis. And then you got Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. So when do I think he'll get benched here? After starting off 1-3, maybe they beat Cleveland. What's that? Let's see. No. Give me a second. They don't win. They don't win week 1. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think they 1-4. Okay, so they don't win until week 5. They beat Cleveland, right? Then they go to New England 1-6. I think they beat Miami 2-6, right? Then you got the Raiders, Chiefs, and Bills. All of those 2-9. And then you got the Chargers, right? So maybe week 10 against the Buffalo Bills, after the Buffalo Bills, going into week 11, after they start off 2-9, I could definitely see Geno Smith being pulled there. It's a schedule situation for him. Maybe the Jets can make some noise here. You know what I mean? I honestly see the Patriots and the Buffalo Bills really being a two-headed monster coming out the AFC East. You know what I mean? But who knows, man? Maybe the Jets can kind of ruin somebody's hope, maybe for a wild card spot. I don't know. But ultimately, man, Geno Smith is the 4th most quarterback. He's just not who he was, you know what I mean? He did this thing before in New York, right? The last time he was in New York and he was on the team, I think some niggas broke his jaw. Did they break his jaw in training camp? Yeah. If you're new to the channel, man, do me a favor, hit the like button, share, and subscribe, man. Let's get to 3K now, all right? We just hit 2K. Let's get to 3K. But last time Geno Smith was on the roster in the Jets, they broke his shit, yeah. So I would imagine if they start out 2-9, maybe somebody go get the other side. I don't know if Geno still has it, man. Geno has been, he's had a good career, right? If you want to look at his numbers, I don't mean to harp on Geno so long, but if you look at his career here, man, you know what I mean? He had a good resurgence in 2023 with Dave Canales. Threw for 3,600 yards, followed by 4,300 yards. And I almost had people believing that he would get a long-term deal prior to Sam Darnold coming into Seattle. But then he ended up becoming I think it was a starter, with the starter or a bench player over in Las Vegas, and it didn't work out. So I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of Geno. I think his best days are behind him, but I do wish him all the best, okay? Now, with that being said, we're talking about the 3rd most quarterback who could possibly get benched this season. Can you guys say rise up? Rise up. Stupid bird. In case you guys don't know, fun fact, I'm going to let you know. If you're new to the channel, first of all, subscribe. But I'm going to let you know something here. I despise the Atlanta Falcons. I hate to use the word hate, but I guess I'm going to use... Listen, if there's one team that I hate, it's the Atlanta Falcons. A, because I live in Athens, Georgia. And B, they're just a bad team, and I hate their fan base. Okay? With that being said, moving right along, Tua Tagovailoa will be the 3rd most quarterback to possibly could bench here. Tua is on the downside of his career. Last time we seen him, should I say this joke? Last time we seen Tua, he was on the turf curled up like an infant. Yo, that's messed up, dog. Yo, I'm going to delete that. Let me delete that. Last time we seen Tua, he was in the fetal position. Damn. Does Tua got any more? Especially with I don't know if you guys seen the NFLPA. They just released a report talking about CTE. You want to check it out. Make sure you check it out, man. Interesting report they just released. Now, when it comes to... that was messed up. Don't laugh at that. Please do not laugh at that. When it comes to Tua Tagovailoa, I think, with Michael Penix looming over his shoulder, you know what I mean? And I looked at him in the preseason. I know the preseason don't really matter Tua ain't it, dog. Tua's not it. And the sad part about it is you got weapons. The only reason why I put him at the third most quarterback likely to get benched is because you got Michael Penix behind him, right? Michael Penix has showed you he has the ability to make plays in this league. You know, outside of him not staying healthy, the dude can ball at times, you know what I mean? But Tua has weapons. I mean, you got Bijan Robinson, you got Drake London, you got Kyle Pitts. That's more than the Miami Dolphins, I'll tell you that. And then on top of that, you got a hell of a defense when it comes to the Atlanta Falcons. Unfortunately, Jalen Walker and the woman beater, James Pierce, it will be out for about 8 games. But Jalen Walker's out for the season with an ACL tear. So that defense that I thought would give us fits this year has came a little bit less impotent. Yeah. That defense has become a little bit less impotent. So what I thought the Falcons could do to us, I'm not necessarily scared, right? Now, with that being said, they still do have A.J. Terrell, right? A.J. Terrell, you know what I mean? Zach Harrison, Zadarius Smith, right? He was once big in this league. And Jesse Bates, the safety. And I want you guys to know something. I don't know if you know ball, but this kid Xavier Watts from Notre Dame last year, that kid is a stud. I don't know if you guys know ball, but Xavier Watts coming out of Notre Dame, it's almost not fair. I would say Xavier Watts the best safety in the NFC South, free safety in the NFC South. Yeah, the fact that you got Xavier Watts and Jesse Bates in the same secondary, that's not even fair. Okay, never mind that. Let's get back to the topic here. Tua Tagovailoa is going to have to find some way, somehow, to get people to buy into who he is. Right? When healthy, man, Tua can light us up. I mean, he lit us up in Carolina, right? We played him, and even though he is not what he once was, you know, you just don't know with Tua. He can literally pop off for 400, but he can also throw 5 interceptions for 200 yards. You just don't know. And I think the expectation in Atlanta is that you better come in here and show out. Not to mention they got a pretty good offensive line with Matthew Bergeron and Jake Matthews and Christian Lindstrom. Probably one of the best right guards in the NFC South, or just the NFL in general, right? So Tua has weapons outside of Drake May, Bijan Robinson, and Kyle Pitts. I mean, it's pretty mid-air. But don't forget about Zacharias Robinson. Zacharias Robinson from the University of Georgia, Go Dogs, sick him, right? Zachariah Branch. Damn, I'm tripping. Zachariah Branch from University of Georgia. Excuse me, y'all. I don't feel good. Zachariah Branch from the University of Georgia could sleep on a lot of people. Matter of fact, I might stash him away in one of my fantasy football leagues. All right? But with that being said, despite having all those weapons and all of that good stuff here, the thing that I've been saying and the thing that I'm going to keep reoccurring is these guys that are doomed to be benched all have bad schedules. All these guys that I keep saying that's going to likely be benched face the uphill schedule. Here we go. With the Falcons and Tua Tagovailoa, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers. I actually have them beating Pittsburgh week 1, right? So I think they go up to Pittsburgh. I don't believe in Aaron Rodgers. I think it's going to cause a little chaos after week 1. I think the Falcons find a way to steal that win. Week 2 against the Carolina Panthers. I don't think they beat the Panthers, right? Defensively, the Carolina Panthers are on a different level. You know, I would like to say that, you know, if Jalen Walker and James Pierce both were in this game, maybe I switch my vote, right? I would switch my vote here. But defensively, man, my nigga Jalen Phillips, Prince Manley, they're going to get after it, dog. Pat Jones, they're going to get after it. I'm telling you, this defense will be the catalyst for this team. So you start off 1-1. You got Green Bay on Prime. You're 1-2. You got New Orleans in New Orleans on Monday Night Football. It's always a dogfight. In case you guys don't know, I'll tell you a quick little story. I lived out here in Georgia. I used to live in Lithonia. Shout out to the east side, right? Lithonia, shout out to the deck, shout out to Cap County, right? So I used to live down there. I used to go to this bar called Dudley's. And when they would have the Saints and Falcons game in there, it was like clockwork. Somebody was always getting stabbed. Somebody was always getting stabbed. Somebody was always getting beat up. This game is truly a rivalry. You guys in Carolina don't know nothing about it. We don't have a real rivalry, right? The Saints and the Falcons, believe it or not, low-key is probably one of the toughest rivalries out there. You got the Ravens, you got the Steelers. That's another tough rivalry. Get in the comment section. Let me know what are the toughest rivalries in the National Football League, okay? But I'm telling you, man, it's bad blood between Atlanta and New Orleans. Ever since Hurricane Katrina, there was a lot of people that came into the city, and it's been bad blood, especially during the football season, okay? With that being said, I think that blood continues to boil, and I think they lose to New Orleans, okay? So you literally start off 1-3. Then you have Baltimore, you got 1-4. Then you got Caleb Williams, that's 1-5. You got Tampa Bay, that's 1-6. I mean, you got San Francisco, that's 1-6. Then you got Tampa Bay. For whatever reason, don't ask me why, but Atlanta always plays Tampa Bay pretty good. All right, so at 1-6, I mean, you're needing something to kind of hang your hat on here, right? You know what I mean? Shout out to Keaton. What's up, boy? You need something to kind of hang your hat on here after going 1-6. I think they beat Tampa Bay, so they go 2-6. But unfortunately, they lose to Cincinnati, 2-7. Then they got Kansas City, and that's 2-8. Okay? So, at week 10, 2-8, coming off a bye, week 12, I think they finally sit down Tua Tagovailoa. Okay? So, unfortunately for him, I think they're going to ride that pony. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they let him off a little bit early here because you do got a valuable option. Before you salt the season away, if I'm shout out to Arthur Blank, probably that's one of my favorite owners. I'm gonna be honest with you. He's a good dude, man. Arthur Blank is a great dude. One of the reasons I do like anything I like about Atlanta is Arthur Blank's a solid brother. Okay, but with that being said, because you have a valuable backup here, instead of waiting until you go 2-9, they could actually, let's say they get off 1-4 start. Let's say they beat Pittsburgh, they lose to Carolina, Green Bay, New Orleans, they lose to Baltimore. Let's say they start off 1-4, right? They start off 1-4. They could start Michael Penix by week 5. But I do think he's in danger. He's in danger of getting benched. He's up there. Because, A, you got weapons. You know what I mean? So it's either going to be week 6 against the Bears or week 12 against Minnesota where they'll start him, okay? If, and I don't mean this disparagingly or salaciously, if he doesn't get hurt, okay? Believe it or not, he hasn't been the healthiest gentleman around, okay? So with that being said, he is the third most quarterback who is likely to get benched this season. If you're new to the channel, man, do me a favor, subscribe up, man. We guys are doing good, man. People are noticing. There's definitely people noticing that watch this channel, and they like it, okay? So subscribe, man. Let's get us back to the top where we belong, right? Shout out to my 95ers. Now, number 2. I'm going to skip number 2 quarterback that's in danger of getting benched. I think you guys may know who it is. Who y'all think the number 2 quarterback is when it comes to this season? Who's the most number 2 quarterback to get benched this season? Possibly getting benched. I'm going to skip over number 2. And the number 1 quarterback who is likely to get benched this season. This guy, let me give you a hint. This guy loves oil. He loves Tuggies. And I don't mean... Let me stop. This guy loves oil. He loves Tuggies. And he's very illiterate. The nigga's illiterate as hell, man. Deshaun Watson will be the number 1 most quarterback to get benched. Yeah, man. Unfortunately, man, Deshaun has been a thief. When I mean thief, man, I mean that as an allegory. Excuse me, as an analogy. Sorry. I think this guy literally... I don't know. I want to be careful here because I don't want to defame him, but the gentleman doesn't seem like he really cares about football. Okay? He's from Gainesville, Georgia, right up the street, man. I actually seen him and his people when they came back. Y'all remember we were supposed to sign him in Carolina? Thank God I got that. This is one of my horrible predictions, by the way. I'm going to give you guys some ammo. A lot of you guys like to take my takes and say I'm a liar. I don't know what I'm talking about. But guess what? I was wrong about Deshaun Watson, so run with that. When he was supposed to come to Carolina, him and his people came back here in Gainesville, Georgia, right? And he stays on a project off of Main Street. I think it's North Main Street. They literally, bro, Lambos and everything. It was like a fleet of Lambos and Ferraris, and it was crazy. He had the hood turned out for that one. But Deshaun Watson, literally $200 million man who has yet to live up to the hype. If you look at what they're surrounding him around, they actually have a little bit of weapons. Pretty good weapons, believe it or not, man. That's why I say Cleveland is in a good position. They just need a quarterback. You got Quinshawn Judkins. My nigga Juckin' like O.J. Simpson. Shout out to Jucks, man. I like Juckins, dog. That's the Ohio State running back can definitely make you feel him. Oh, the Panthers will feel him week 3. Don't you worry about that. But this is not about Big Juck, right? So you got Big Juck. You got my nigga Jerry Jeudy. I think Jerry Jeudy has seen some of his best days over, but it doesn't mean that he can't be a threat. And then you got a couple young bulls here. You got KC Concepcion and you got Denzel Boston. Both of those guys were 800 to 900 yard receivers coming out of college. I'm not necessarily high on these guys. I think a couple of these guys, I think Denzel was a one-hit wonder, but I think KC Concepcion was a one-hit wonder, right? I think both of those guys had 900 yards for the first time in their career last year, right? But for the most part, they were kind of under the radar. So they have 2 breakout senior year, junior years, however you want to put it. But nonetheless, I mean, if they can repeat what they did in college their final season, they can definitely make some noise. And then one of my favorite players on the offense is Harold Fannin Jr. Panthers fans, write this name down. You will know 2 names come week 3. Come week 3, you will know 2 names. That name is Harold Fannin Jr. You will know him. You will know Harold Fannin Jr. come week 2. You will know Quinshon Judkins. That's all I got to say about that. With that being said, Deshaun Watson, believe it or not, you got no excuse, brother. I seen a clip of Deshaun Watson today in practice, man, and I don't know, man. I think this guy, I don't know if the Cleveland Browns are cursed or what. I mean, you had Baker Mayfield one year. Baker Mayfield didn't pan out, but then Baker Mayfield goes to find stability in Tampa, right? I don't know. I don't know what's going on in Cleveland. If we got any Browns fans in here, could you let me know what's up with this cursed-ass franchise, man, right? People say the Panthers are cursed, but not as bad as this. we cursed too, but not as bad as this. Deshaun Watson, $200 million with weapons. And even on the defense, man, if you want to look at this defense here, people all on Myles Garrett's nuts, but believe it or not, shout out to my nigga Elaine for that super sticker. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that, dog. A lot of people on Myles Garrett's nuts, but believe it or not, this defense still has pieces. You got Denzel Ward. You got Jared Verse, who's not a slouch by any means. By any means, man. You got Mason Graham, who's not even a slouch by any means. And you got Malik Collins, who's a valuable weapon on that D-line as well. And then you got Grant Delpit and Tyson Campbell, former Georgia Bulldog, Go Dog, Sugar Woo Woo Woo. I do that every time. It's football. It's college football season, baby. So I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan, and I don't care who likes it. But go Dogs, right? So Tyson Campbell from UGA. Man, this team could really make some noise if they can get some burn from the quarterback spot. But unfortunately for Deshaun Watson, I don't think he's it. Okay? I don't think he's it. I don't mean to kind of defame him, man, but when he had all that stuff going on with those DMs and stuff, one of the girls ended up leaking his DM. And this ain't got nothing to do with nothing. I'm just being silly. One of the girls leaked his DM about a massage. And hey, yo, I can tell the difference between a 2-year-old texting or if this was somebody who was special needs. And that kind of just lets me into his acumen of his mind. I'm serious. I'm not even joking. It looked like this gentleman, or I don't know. He was texting a girl, and the girl outed him, and he said, "I need to meet you." It was real silly. Okay. And real quick, before we move on for Deshaun Watson, I kind of feel for him just a little bit. He got his money, right? He's also been through a lot. Gainesville, Georgia. Does anybody know anything about Gainesville, Georgia? Shout out to the Red Elephants, right? Gainesville, Georgia, it's known. It's a very heavy Hispanic town, and there's a lot of massage parlors, and I mean a lot. Don't ask me why I know this, but I feel for Deshaun Watson. Those massage parlors can be hard to fight. I worked in Gainesville for a minute, so I feel for him, okay? I'll leave it at that. Shout out to the parlors. With that being said here, let's take a look at Deshaun Watson's schedule here. You ain't never been into a massage parlor, man. Gravity! Oh, it's fighting against me. How could this be? All right, Cleveland Browns, week 1. Jacksonville Jaguars. I definitely think that they'll lose to Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence is on a whole new level. I like the Jaguars to probably sneak some teams this year. Tampa Bay and Cleveland. Baker's funny, man. I told you the Browns actually have a solid defense, man. Baker is very funny to me. It's not even about whether or not the Browns can compete on defense. I think they're gonna, like I said, Carolina week 3. You're gonna catch the beast week 3, Carolina. But week 2, Baker's funny because if you can pressure Baker into doing a lot of stupid stuff, but in the same time, Baker can also shred you, man. So it's almost like which one do you believe he'll be come week 2? That Browns defense, man. I'm going to say week 2 they lose. I think Cleveland lose, but the only reason why I think they lose is because the quarterback play doesn't live up to standard, right? If they had a quarterback, Tampa loses this game. If they had a quarterback, Tampa would lose this game, but they're not. Okay, so you're 0-2. Finally, you finally get some relief. You get the Carolina Panthers coming into Ohio. That's a win for Cleveland. Cleveland gets their first win against the Carolina Panthers. A desperate win after starting off 0-2. It's not because of our defense. I honestly believe the Carolina Panthers defense is going to be phenomenal this year. I'm a big fan of Jalen Phillips. I love Prince Manley. Hell, even guys like Thomas Incoom has flashed in the preseason. Maybe he gets some burn. I like Prince Manley. Umanelele. If I mispronounce your name, I'm sorry, but it's Umanelele. I like him. I like Pat Jones. Big Derek Brown's going to be a load. He's going to drop a load on Cleveland. I think they're going to make this game a 10-13 kind of game. But unfortunately, Bryce Young against this defense is a no-go. I honestly can see Cleveland scoring on us on defense. No bullshit. No bullshit. I can see Jared Verse strip sack for a touchdown. I can see Denzel Ward for a touchdown. I can see Grant Delpit for a pick 6. I think they're going to score on us on defense. And because of that, I think that's a dividing decision. With that being said, man, so Cleveland picks up their week 3 win. Pittsburgh, no primetime game. I do think they lose to Pittsburgh even at home. They may run the ball like hell against Pittsburgh, right? You can definitely run on Pittsburgh. Shout out to not Lamar Jackson. Shout out to Big Derrick Henry. So maybe they run against Pittsburgh. I don't know. Maybe they feed the ball to Quanshawn Jenkins 100 times. You definitely can run against Pittsburgh. But ultimately, like I said, it comes back down to the quarterback play. So you start off 1-3. You lose to Jacksonville. You lose to Tampa. You lose to Pittsburgh. You get Geno Smith and the Jets. I think you finally get your second win there, right? Sorry, so you're 2-3. You get Baltimore. You're 2-4. You get Tennessee. You're 3-4, right? You get Pittsburgh again. I think you're 3-5. You get New Orleans. You're 3-6. You get Houston. You're 3-7. So going into week 11, you're 3-7, and now you got to make a decision here. I think you finally see Shit Deer come out week 12, right? Shit Deer comes out week 12, man. Unfortunately, it's just you'll see the last time you see Deshaun Watson, it won't be in a massage booth. It'll be in Houston. The last time you see Deshaun Watson, it won't be in a massage booth, but he definitely will be slipping around because them Texans are going to have his ass just like he was in Baby Batter, just slipping all over the place, right? That'll be the last time you see Deshaun Watson before the Shadir shit come out, right? So, with that being said, I mean, believe it or not, him and Tua Tagovailoa, I think Deshaun Watson probably is going to be the last. He actually probably can go, about 11, 12 wins. 11 or 12 games before getting a bench. I think Tua's probably on the shortest leash. I think Tua's going to take him up anywhere between 5 to 7 games. And then Geno Smith. Geno Smith may be on a little bit of a short leash, but they ain't got nobody either. All these teams are playing for quarterback, right? All right, so that was the number 1 player that I believe that will get benched. All right, thank you guys. You're new to the channel. Oh, I forgot one. Y'all want to hear it or not? Let me know. I don't want no crying. There's a number 2 player. I skipped over one. Thank you guys. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button, share, subscribe to the channel, please. Did I forget somebody? I forgot a number 2. Y'all want me to go over? Y'all let me know real quick. Y'all want me to go over the number 2 quarterback who I believe could get benched this season? While you're waiting on you guys, do me a favor, man. Hey, look, sub up to the channel, but check this out. I got a little treat for you guys. Dave Canales, he went on the Stephen A. Smith show, and he has some interesting words to say. Now, because we have joint practice tomorrow, I pushed that live back to Thursday. It's probably going to get cold then, but I think it's important that we talk about it. So you guys let me know. Do y'all want to live about Stephen A. Smith and the Dave Canales interview? Or do you want me just to record it and upload it for later on? Right? You let me know, please. If not, because tomorrow we're not going to cover it. Tomorrow we'll do the joint practice. Okay? Okay, let's go over to number 2. Thank you. Oh, you said you want to hear number 2? Okay. Ain't nobody going to cry, are they? We ain't got no whole niggas in the chat that going to cry, are they? Okay. Thank God we ain't got any of them. The number 2 quarterback that could be best this season. Jitterbug, doo, 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 doo. Talking jitterbug, doo, doo. Jitterbug. Got the little jitterbug here, Bryce Young. Oh, yes, I purposely saved him for last. Jitterbug. What can I say that I haven't said already? I have said it all to you guys. I have said it all to you guys about Bryce Young. My man's under pressure. He's definitely under pressure. I'm talking about like boo ball pressure. You ever been boo ball pressure? That's a lot of pressure. 30 interceptions. 23 fumbles. 12 of them lost. Historic lows in all categories, especially passing his rookie year. The Panthers haven't picked up his 5th-year option, and for good measures. They know he's not the guy. But for the sake of investment, you have to see it through. Bryce Young, a former number 1 overall quarterback, is at the brink of extinction. He's at the brink of extinction, dog. He could be up out of here. Let's take a look at his weapons here, because I know a lot of you guys, one of you guys' favorite arguments is he doesn't have any weapons, right? Why do I believe he could get bitched this season? And why is he so high up, right? I had Malik Willis at 5, Geno Smith at 4. Hell, I had Tagovailoa at 3. And I had Deshaun Watson at 1. Why is he in the top 2? You traded up and got Caleb Williams. I mean, you passed on Caleb Williams. You get away your number one receiver in DJ Moore. You passed on CJ Stroud. You got guys like Big Nick Bo Nix coming here throwing for 4,000. Drake May's Super Bowl 2nd year. Jaden Daniels, 3,000 plus yards. CJ Stroud, Rookie of the Year. CJ Stroud, 3 straight playoff appearances. And you wonder why this guy's in danger of being benched. It's one thing. It's sad that a former number 1 overall pick has people before him and people that's coming behind him doing better than him. Wow. This is insane. This guy had people behind him, came out when guys were still in college, have come out now and still doing better than him. And guys that came out with him are doing better than him. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I'm waiting for the Bryce explosion. I will eat crow. I will eat crow, y'all. I will eat crow if this dude come out here and wows my mind. Is this kid come out here throw for 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns? I will let all my hating niggas hit the link and call me fat, S-A-S-O-B. I promise you. If Bryce just I don't mean 3,000 yards passing and 20 touchdowns. He has to literally ball out. I'll let you guys come up here and insult me until I can't handle it. And I won't say a word. But good thing for me, we don't have to worry about that. Now, with that being said, the weapons around Bryce Young, you got a beautiful dog. I'm just a dog. I'm just a mutt. You got Terratola McMillan, a guy who I was high on coming out of college. A lot of guys wanted him, including the Rams and the Cowboys. Could you imagine C.D. Lamb and Pickens with Terratola McMillan? You're talking about a guy coming out of college with a 60% contested catch rate. Do you guys know what that means? That means if you throw the ball to him and there's another guy going up for the ball at the same time, that means 60% of the time he comes down with it. That's over more than half. And not by a little, by a lot. You're talking about 60%. I mean, that's a weapon. Jalen Croker, a guy coming from Holy Cross. Oh, Jalen Croker from Holy Cross. Yeah, I mean, you look at him, you laugh. But when healthy, the dude is phenomenal, reliable. You know what I mean? He's special, okay? Hopefully he doesn't get this bread and just, regress. I don't think he's going to regress, right? The only down spot when it comes to the receiver room is Xavier Legette. And I don't want to go into Xavier Legette, right? Xavier Legette has done everything but play football. Nigga has dated Glorillo. He don't date Glorillo. He don't, what else he done? He don't ride horses. Can you believe that? They let a nigga at the Kentucky Derby. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I want you guys to watch a soldier story. Watch how the Sarge treated the nigga that could play baseball. Has anybody ever seen the soldier story? Check out how the sergeant treated the nigga that played baseball. Xavier Legette has done everything but ball out. This nigga had an interview with Guy Ferrari eating coon on an NBC broadcast at the Kentucky Derby. And you guys call me a coon. Believe it or not, there's people that call me a coon. That nigga's, I don't want to make this personal, but I feel some kind of way about this. Nigga, you embarrassing black people, dog. You shouldn't appear with Guy Ferrari. Matter of fact, that nigga make a tasty burger. Shout out to Guy Ferrari Burgers. You shouldn't appear with Guy Ferrari at the Kentucky Derby eating fucking coon. Meanwhile, you here averaging 300 yards a pop. I won't hold that to you, Bryce. We'll strike that off the you embarrassing black people. Ain't no way in hell a white man can let me on a in case you guys don't worry, Kentucky Derby is like the Super Bowl for white people. Next to the Masters, right? You got the Masters, you got a Kentucky Derby. Them white folks like the Masters, and they like Kentucky Derby. If they invite your black ass to the Masters or Kentucky Derby to do a ceremony correspondent, that means you're somebody. Unfortunately, they invite this nigga to Kentucky Derby, and he's out here frying possum. Yeah, I tell you what, man, I like me some coon. Bryce, I don't even hold it against you. I won't hold it against you, Bryce. But your dad did say he was your guy. So just to kind of remind you, your dad said that X was your guy. I'm gonna leave X alone because y'all gonna start crying. Let me move on from X. All right, now, and that's not a joke, by the way. This nigga did go to the Kentucky Derby sucking down coon. All right, let's move on. Tommy Tremble, nobody. Darren Waller will take his spot. When you look at his offensive line, Damian Lewis, Luke Fortner, trash, Robert Hunt, and Taylor Moton, right? And Akeem Ekwonu. Akeem Ekwonu and Taylor Moton, both of those guys are hurt. But despite them being hurt, Monroe Freeland has did a phenomenal job. And Monroe is from where? University of what? When I say it, you say it. Go, dog, sick 'em. Woo, 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 woo. I don't care if you're a Tar Heel or a Gamecock or a Wolfpack. Go, dog, sick 'em. So Monroe Freeland has been phenomenal. Bryce doesn't have an excuse at the right tackle for me. Monroe's going to have a learning curve, but he'll be serviceable, right? I'm not saying he's going to go out there and beat niggas, but he'll be serviceable, okay? While Akeem Ekwonu's doubt, they haven't fully ruled him out yet. They say he could come back, which I don't think is a good idea. Rasheed Walker has been serviceable. So going into week 1, you got a serviceable offensive line, right? You got Robert Hunt, you got Damian Lewis, 2 very good guards, and Luke Fortner's ass. Okay? Then you got Ted McMillan, Jalen Croker, and then you possibly could throw in, I don't know, maybe Jimmy Horn, Johnny Mechie. I don't know. Don't sleep on John Mechie or Jimmy Horn if they're on this team. Those guys can be a factor for Bryce this season. And last but not least, when it comes to the offense, you got Jonathan Brooks there. But really, I'm a fan of A.J. Dillon. I'm going to tell you something. I made this prediction last year. Shout out to, I'll be picking on Delshawn. I love you, Delshawn. It ain't nothing personal. Delshawn called me out last year and said that I was hating on Chuba because I said Rico would take his job. I said back in August that Rico would take Chuba's job. Nigga said I was hating. Rico took his job. So I'm here to make a bold prediction for you guys. Here's a bold prediction. I love you, Deshaun. Ain't nothing personal, brother. Big love, brother. Big love. With that being said, my next bold prediction is A.J. Dillon will skyrocket up this chart. At some point. Maybe not week 1, maybe not week 5. Before it's all said and done, A.J. Dillon will skyrocket up the depth chart at running back. Mark my words. I know my ball, and I'm usually quite right. I do get it wrong. But, yeah, okay. With that being said, that's the offense for Bryce Young, okay? So he really don't have no excuse there. It's not like, so let me go back to here. So, like, when you look at this Carolina Panthers offense here, man, right? It's not the best in the world, right? Let's be honest. But look, when you look at guys like Malik Willis, bro, like, look. This is why I say Bryce don't have no. Look at Malik Willis. I got him on a hot seat too, bro. Look at this shit. Malik Washington, Jalen Tolbert, and Caleb Douglas. If Bryce had this on his team, I would say, yeah, go, he get another year. I would easily give him another year. I would easily extend Bryce if he had to face this kind of roster. He don't have that roster. You know what I mean? When you look at what Bryce does have, like I said, he has a pretty good roster there on the offense. It's enough to get you at least 7-8 games. You know what I mean? And with good quarterback play, you might even contend for 9. You got enough for 7-8 games, maybe even 9, if the quarterback shows up, which I doubt he will. Okay? Defensively, if you're worried about them boys having your back, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? You better not lie. You better not cry. And I'm telling you why. Carolina Panthers defense is coming to town. Jalen Phillips know when you're dropping back. Derek Brown's about to give you a sack. Christian Manley's coming off the edge. And Trayvon Morton's gonna light you up. Oh, you better not cry. You better not shout. And I'm telling you why. Carolina's defense is coming to town. Carolina defense is coming to a town near you. So you can't say he ain't got no weapons on offense. You can't say defense will be an issue. My nigga Jalen Phillips is going to contend with probably one of the top edge rushers this year. I won't be surprised he makes a Pro Bowl. It wouldn't surprise me. Devin Lloyd, a phenomenal linebacker since Luke Kuechly, right? Shout out to TD as well. But Devin Lloyd is going to restore the glory at that linebacker position. Derek Brown, you big brown brother, you. He's going to do what he's always been doing. He's going to hold down that D-line. Outside of Derek Brown, that D-line, Bobby Brown, Trayshawn Wharton, whew, they may give up a bunch of rushing yards. This is the reason why I say Cleveland's going to run all over our ass. Yeah, this is why. As far as edge rushing and sacking, when it comes to edge rushes and sacks, we're going to have a bunch of those, but they're going to run that. Man, let me tell you something. Hey, listen to me, y'all. You take your emotions out of what I'm saying. Niggas going to run trains on Carolina's front. If I'm coming into playing for Carolina, I'm double teaming. I even may throw a tight end and run a chip on Derek Brown. I'm lined up in 11 personnel. I'm shading the tight end to the strong side of the field. And we triple teaming that nigga, Derek Brown. I want niggas like Bobby Boo and Trayshawn Trash to beat me. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Niggas gonna, niggas gonna run right through that. I can see it now. Let me close my eye. I can see it right now. What's going on? Damn, I feel like Stevie Wonder on Intervisions. I can see it right. They go, Krishan Junkins, 300 yards. Bijan Robinson, 300 yards. Don't get me started on Kyle Mungai and them boys and DeAndre Swift. You got me here shouting like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger on Total Recall. You remember when they put him in that chair? You remember Arnold Schwarzenegger on Total Recall? Got me like Arnold Schwarzenegger watching this defensive line getting shredded the hell up. But outside of that, though, man, good edge rushing team. And not to mention, you got two of the best cornerbacks in the South. If I'm not mistaken, J.C. Horn is a top 10 cornerback in the National Football League. And don't forget about Michael Jackson, who's hungry to get his contract extension. So, with that being said, defensively, despite them not stopping the run, they're going to make life hell for quarterbacks. So, Big Katt, with all that being said, you said Bryce Young is number 2 as far as getting benched. How do you see it playing out? I got you, dog. I got you. Don't you even worry. Week 1, Caleb Williams comes into town. That's a loss, man. You know what I mean? You ain't got to know football. That's a loss. Even if you don't know football, I'm gonna make it remedial for you. I'm gonna dumb it down for you. It has nothing to do with nothing, right? But a bear is better than a panther, right? If you put a bear out in the woods and a panther out in the woods, it has nothing to do. And plus, I'm trolling. But so just on that GP alone, if you didn't know football, Bears gonna beat Panthers week 1. I don't think we have enough firepower to overcome Caleb Williams. I think they're going to make it difficult for Caleb. And because they're going to make it difficult for Caleb, they're going to lean heavy on that run. Kyle Mungai and DeAndre Swift will turn this team into mincemeat. Caleb Williams is going to have a mediocre day. Listen to what I'm saying. I want you guys to listen to what I'm saying. I want you to listen to what I'm saying. I need you guys to listen to what I'm saying. Before you get emotional, I need you to listen to what I'm saying. Caleb Williams will have a mediocre day. Caleb Williams will have a mediocre day against Carolina. And that's because the edge rush. But Kyle Mungai and DeAndre Swift are going to literally, I can see 10 to 12 yards a clip. It's going to get crazy in Carolina. And unfortunately, when it comes to our offensive line, you got Monroe Freeland out there and you got Rasheed Walker. Although I think they will do a honorable job. I think they'll do a very honorable job, man. But with that being said, man, Montez Sweat gonna eat. Don't forget the big Grady Jarrett up front. Grady Jarrett's gonna be lined up over Luke Fortner. Luke Fortner has been trash. I predict Luke Fortner to lose his job at some point in this season. Okay, so I just gave you 2 bold predictions. Luke Fortner will lose his job. Maybe Brady Christensen be the center. Brady Christensen will be a center at some point this season. Don't ask me when. Don't ask me how. I'm Nostradamus now. I'm usually pretty good at my predictions so far. Brady Christensen will be a center at some point during the season. A.J. Dillon will be the lead back at some point in this season. And Luke Fortner will get destroyed by Grady Jarrett. Okay? That's the reason why I have us losing week 1. Okay? Week 2 against the Atlanta Falcons, I know there's already panic. A lot of you guys are calling for Haynes King if he's around. I doubt he'd be around. Week 2 against Atlanta, fortunately for us, man, although they had Bijan Robinson and Drake London, we got a pretty good cornerback duo back there. And they got Zachariah Branch. But I think we locked those guys up. Bijan Robinson, I know we struggled against the run week 1 against the Chicago Bears. I don't see it getting any better. I think Bijan destroys us on the ground and through the air. I don't think it stops. Yeah, as long as Trayshawn Wharton and Bobby Brown are in the starting lineup, hell, even the guys behind them, Lee Garcia and Cam Gillis, who is it? Cam Jackson, excuse me. Cam Jackson, and even Lee Hunter. I know a lot of you niggas was on Lee Hunter's nuts. That nigga ain't ready. I seen Lee Hunter this preseason. I haven't heard shit from that nigga. No disrespect. You know what I mean? Shout out to my H-Town niggas. But that nigga Lee Hunter ain't ready. They gonna pack his shit clean out too. So with that being said, Bijan has a field day on us through the air, through the ground. But here, hold on. I got some good news for you guys. Despite Bijan going crazy on us, our defense is gonna have Tua in a cradle form. Week 2 might be the game for Tua to be in the fetal position. Don't laugh. It's not even funny. That's not even funny. I'm sorry. Week 2, despite us getting tore up by Bijan, Jalen Phillips, Pat Jones, Derek Brown, I think they do enough. Devin Lloyd does enough to rattle Tua. Tua's just not it, man. Tua's not that guy. And it's sad because I honestly believe, if you're new to the channel, man, make sure you hit the like button, share, and subscribe, okay? I honestly believe that offense is potent in Atlanta. It's kind of like the Jets offense, man. Like the Cleveland Browns offense. That Cleveland Brown offense is potent. It just don't have no quarterback, man. And I think Tua has multiple interceptions against us, and that's really the difference. As far as Bryce Young going up against the Falcons defense, no Jalen Walker, no James Pierce Jr. They still got Jesse Bates, and shout out to Xavier Watts, who's a dog, and Jesse Bates, a dog. I still think they're going to give Bryce fits. Bryce definitely throws a pick in this game. But like I said, I think the defense bails them out, man. I just think Carolina's defense is just that much better than Tua Tagovailoa. So we win week 2, okay? Which is super unfortunate because I think Atlanta, man, you know what I mean? All right, so we start off 1-2. Keytuan hits the link, come up on my channel. God of Blackness come up on my channel after beating the Atlanta Falcons, and they call me Big Pussy or whatever they call me. What they used to call me? What they call me? Big Precious. Big Precious, we beat the Falcons. I can hear God of Blackness. Big Precious, we beat the Falcons. I can hear Keyton Ellis. I can hear Keyton right now. Whatever they call me, right? All right, so going into week 3, we're 1-2. We take on the Cleveland Browns. And nah, dog. Nah. This is one of those things where Deshaun Watson will eat the ground, man. He's going to eat the ground. We're going to massage him into the dirt. But it's not about our defense, man. And the Cleveland Browns defense is solid, y'all. You guys don't have no clue how solid this defense is. They got Jared Verse, Mason Graham, Del Pitt, Denzel Ward, Tyson Campbell. They got weapons, man. They got weapons on defense. If you have a decent quarterback, you can beat the Cleveland Browns. You got to have a decent... Man, they're going to make life hard for Bryce. Their life is going to be hard. I mean, like, 20 years on death row hard, my nigga. That kind of hard for Bryce. They're going to get to Bryce early and often. Not to mention offensively, I'm going to see a pattern. Week 1, the Bears tear us up on the ground. Week 2, Atlanta tears us up on the ground. Week 3, Quinshon Judkins continues to party. I'm telling you, we're not going to be able to stop the run. Y'all think because we got Lee Hunter out there and Derek Brown, man, that shit ain't happening, dog. We're going to be edge rushers, y'all. We will lead this team in sacks. We might be a top 10 team in sacks. I bank it. Put money on it. We might be a top 10 team in sacks. But we're not stopping no run. Hell nah. Hell no, we ain't stopping no run. And for 3 straight weeks, the Carolina Panthers give up a 100-yard rusher. 100 to Atlanta, 100 to Chicago. And Quinshon Judkins continues that thing. I do think Deshaun Watson gets turned over early and often, right? This is going to be another one of those low-scoring games, maybe a 13-17, 13-10 kind of game here. Something of that nature here. But ultimately, what it comes down to, can Bryce navigate, that defense? Can Luke Fortner go up against Mason Graham and stop Mason Graham? Can Jared Verse go up against Rasheed Walker or Monroe Freeland, and can they hold him? Can Terratola McMillan navigate Denzel Ward? That might be. Can Denzel Ward lock up, Terratola McMillan? That might be. I don't know. We don't know about that. Let me say this. If they find a way to isolate Terratola McMillan, I say McMillan is lock up. Who's going to separate from Tyson Campbell and the rest of this defense while Bryce Young is under pressure? It can't be that possum eating nigga. I know it's not that possum eating nigga. If you take Terratola McMillan from this offense against the Cleveland Browns, while Bryce is under pressure, who's going to find himself free? It won't be the possum man. Jalen Croker. You guys have a lot of faith in Croker, but Croker hasn't been healthy for a full season. We have seen spurts out of Jalen Croker. I'm not saying that he's bad. I like Jalen Croker. I believe in Jalen Croker, and I think Jalen Croker will make somebody pay. But let's pull it out a little bit. My nigga ain't had a full season. With that being said, y'all, we lose to the Cleveland Browns. Harold Fannin Jr. is going to do some ungodly stuff to us. And I forgot we can't cover tight ends. Jesus, I forgot about the tight end. Oh, man, I forgot about the tight ends. Do I need to go back and give Atlanta a win? Because they got Kyle Pitts. Nah, Kyle Pitts, that's trash. I forgot we can't cover tight. So we can't stop the run, and we can't cover tight ends. Should I give Atlanta? Nah, I'm going to leave Atlanta alone. With that being said, Harold Fannin Jr. and Judkins have a great game against us, dog, and we lose to Cleveland. So now we start off 1-3. We beat Atlanta, we lose to Chicago, we lose to Cleveland, We lose to Detroit. Week 4, Detroit, Sunday Night Football. Hey, I'm not even going to waste you guys' time. Jared Goff, Jamari Gibbs. This will be 4 straight. Evero may get fired after week 4 because he's going to give up to 4 straight 100-yard rushing games. You're going to give up 100 yards to DeAndre Swift. You're going to give up 100 yards to Bijan Robinson. You're going to give up 100 yards to Quinshon Judkins. And you're going to give up 100-plus yards to Jamari Gibbs. Yeah. So week 4, Evero may get fired. Week 4. That might be the game that gets Evero fired because they're going to go, why we can't stop the run? Which it won't be his fault because, I mean, literally, you got bullshit out there. You got Lee Hunter and Robert, what's his name? Bobby Brown. Bobby Bryant. You can't stop nothing with that, okay? So going into our bye week, the Carolina Panthers sit at 1-3. Do the Carolina Panthers have the audacity to sit Bryce Young down early? You're talking about 1-3. 1-3. The season's not quite away from us, but it's to the point to where we haven't even gotten into the meat of our schedule. We still got guys like Denver, Baltimore, and Philadelphia coming. So, with that being said, I don't think they pull Bryce after going 1-3. I think during the bye week, they try to, find a way to add some new plays or whatever crap they try to do, right? Whatever bull ass they make up, okay? With that being said, unfortunately for Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers, you take on the Georgia Bulldog Eagles. Go dog, sucker, woo, woo, woo. You give up 4 straight 100-yard rushers. DeAndre Swift, Bijan Robinson, Quinshon Judkins, Jamari Gibbs. You give up a 200-yard game to Saquon Barkley. And it may be rushing and receiving combined. Saquon Barkley goes medieval. This is the game that's probably going to get Evero fired. Because we're not going to move the ball on the Georgia Bulldog Eagles. You just paid Jalen Carter, right? Kobe Dean and those boys. You got Dijon Cooper. You got Big Jordan from the UGA. I mean, this is the game where we might get shut out. I don't know if we score on the Eagles. If we do, it'll be like 10 points in garbage time, right? But for 5 straight games, you give up a 100-yard rusher. And this is the game that Evero gets fired in. Saquon's going off. 200-yard game combined. Maybe 100 receiving, 100-yard rushing. He's going to go off. It's not that I believe in Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is extremely mid. He's extremely mid. But the nigga's a winner, man. I can't hate a nigga who's a winner. He's a Super Bowl MVP. He's a Super Bowl champion. You can say whatever you want to say about Jalen Hurts being carried. A lot of you guys like to make this narrative about being carried. But Jalen Hurts a winner. Sometimes it ain't always got to look sexy. It don't have to always look sexy, my nigga. Would you guys give a care if we won the Super Bowl against the Denver Broncos and it looked as bad as it did? If we found a way to somehow win the game but still play the way we did, would you guys still care if we play bad? No. And that's what Jalen Hurts is. But ultimately, this is the game that breaks the defense kind of breaks us offensively. So we're 1-5, man. Lost to Chicago, lost to Cleveland, lost to Detroit. We'll lose to Philadelphia. Fortunately for us, we come home, we play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we always play the Buccaneers close. And I think this will be the same here. Going 1-5, you got to ask yourself, is it time to sit Bryce Young after going 1-5? It's cutting it close here. I like to say you lose 6 games, your season is in jeopardy. Your season is definitely in jeopardy. You lose 8 to 9 games. But 6 games, you're right there on the cusp of it kind of getting away from you. I don't even think Bryce plays well in this Philadelphia game. If I got to go back, let me go back up. We got Chicago. I think he plays decent. I think Atlanta, he plays good. I think he struggles in Cleveland. I think he struggles in Detroit. And I think he plays bad in Philadelphia. So I think week 1 against Chicago, he plays decent. That may be like what? What's a decent game for Bryce? 180 yards. Bryce may come out here and throw for like 180 yards, right? Bryce may throw for like 180 yards. Decent game. That's bad to anybody else that's as a real quarterback, right? So a lot of you guys say 180 yards, that's bad. Yeah, that's bad if you got a good quarterback. 180 yards for Bryce that's about the norm. That's a good game for Bryce. 180 yards, maybe a touchdown. Okay? Week 2 against Atlanta, I think he lights up Atlanta. But it's not going to come without turnovers, right? I think they're definitely going to have a couple turnovers, but ultimately, I think our defense has the best of that. Lights up Atlanta. Week 3, I think he struggles in Cleveland. Week 4, he struggles against Detroit. At home. At home. It's not even a good game. Week 6, he definitely struggles against Philadelphia. Okay? Now, with that being said, you're 1-5. You got a decision to make. You got a fork in the road. Do you turn right or do you turn left? I'm praying to Jesus. Baby Jesus, keep Haynes King on this roster. If Haynes King is on this roster, we got a real shot for him to be in going into Tampa Bay. I think David Tepper's stubborn, and I think Dave Canales is the do boy. With that being said, Bryce goes on to play Tampa Bay going into week 7, and he wins. He wins. I think you're really going to see Jonathan Brooks have a good game against Tampa. Jonathan Brooks and Terrell McMillan really saved the day against Tampa. Panthers get their second win week 7. Week 7, Carolina gets their second win. A lot of you guys will give Bryce the credit. Who cares? 2-5. Okay, 2-5. After beating Tampa Bay, you get a short week and you play Thursday night football against the Green Bay Packers. There is no more 200-yard running back in Carolina. Rico Dowdle is gone. Last time we faced Green Bay, Rico Dowdle ran all over him. If you don't think Green Bay has the taste of bad blood in their mouth. Matter of fact, I remember Green Bay being a heavily favorite on the spread. Heavily favored on the spread. And we got to go up there on a short week. If you think that the Green Bay Packers and their fans have forgotten about what you did, which was a fluke, by the way, they haven't. Micah Parsons will go crazy. Micah Parsons will go crazy. By this time, maybe Akeem Ekwonu and Taylor Moton is back. Still, it's Micah Parsons. He came off a bad year last year. He'll be back. Oh, I failed to mention this. Week 7 will be the first time we hold a guy under 100 yards rushing. I think we hold Bucky Irvin under 100 yards rushing. So the streak snaps, right? So 5 straight games of 100 yards. We stopped that in Tampa. We stopped that at home against Tampa. Now, back to Green Bay. Josh Jacobs picks that streak back up. Josh Jacobs going to bruise niggas. Yeah. Although we keep Tampa under 100 yards rushing, Josh Jacobs is going to come out here. He's going to do some helmet popping. He's going to be doing some helmet shopping. He's going to get a lot of paint on them, okay? I just don't see us beating Green Bay on a short week, especially coming off a divisional game. All those games are always tough, and the Carolina lose. So here we are, going into week 9. Week 9, we only got 2 wins. We beat the Falcons week 2. We beat the Buccaneers week 7. So we're sitting here with 2 wins after week 9. So you got to ask yourself, it has to be time. This is where I can see you're flirting with benching Bryce Young. Because if you're really about winning, I don't know. So this is why I said I don't know what the motive is in Carolina. I don't know if their goal is to win. I don't know if their goal is to just keep the season from being a total wash. Like if their goal is to say, hey, we're gonna win another 8 games to say we improve. I don't know. I don't know with this organization. And this fan base is definitely a little slow, right? Because I got guys out here believing that 8 wins is cool. Yeah, we got people in our fan base that believe 8 wins is cool. So Do David Tepper and them believe, say, hey, man, even though Bryce is here, we are with two wins going into week 9. Do we just say, hey, let's get us to try to get 8 wins and say we build on it? You know what I mean? Or will we finally see David Tepper drop his, gonads and say, hey, enough of this. I'm done. Enough of this. I don't know what to expect. Let me know in the comment section. What is the goal for the Panthers, the front office? What is the goal for the front office? Do they truly want to see us win games, or are they just coming out here and kind of just babysit Bryce? Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button and share button for me, please. Subscribe up. Week 9 is the real first shot that you can see Bryce Young getting benched. I can really see Bryce Young getting benched ahead of week 9. But I don't think they will. I think to put any other quarterback off the bench against the Denver Broncos is a suicide mission. So although we win 2 games going into week 9, I want to wish Haynes King, I want to wish Kenny Pickett, I want to wish Kyle Trask, if he's around, to come cold off the bench to take on the Denver Broncos. I wouldn't wish that on my mama. I wouldn't even let my mama watch the game. With that being said, they stick Bryce Young back out there. Yeah, they put Bryce Young, but get back out there. And when I tell you, Big Nix, Bo Nix. I love Bo Nix. We own that nigga in the SEC though. Big Nick, Bo Nix. When I say them boots are made for walking, and that's what they'll do. When I say them boots were made for walking, one day, Big Nick, Bo Nix gonna run all over you. Quarterback sneaks, quarterback keeps, and most importantly, quarterback treats. Bo Nix is going crazy. And let's not forget, you got Jalen Waddle. Got the Waddle, do the Waddle. You got Jalen Waddle. You know who struggles against fasty shift receivers? Does anybody know who struggles against Jalen Waddle? Waddle. Guess who struggles against fasty, quick receivers at the top of the routes? I don't know, Big Katt. Who? Go back and watch the Miami game from last year. Waddle. Jalen Waddle will put J.C. Horn in purgatory. God damn. That nigga cannot cover, bro. Shout out to Derek B. My nigga Derek B says, Bucky Irvin gonna do us dirty this year. Shout out to Derek. Man, listen, brother. I know there's a possibility, but I gotta give the Panthers some kind of solace. I think we hold them in check. Maybe the first go around. Maybe we'll talk about the second go around. Yeah. But anyway, Jalen Waddle will own J.C. Horn. And after that, man, don't get me started on this defense. Give me a second. Let's take a peek at this defense here. Y'all want to know what? I can't believe I'm actually wasting time on this. Let's talk about the Broncos defense. Zach Allen, Riley Moss, Patrick Surtain, Alex Singleton, DJ Jones. And they got this white boy. I believe that white boy. Is this Jaquan McMillan? There's a white boy that played back there. Let me see. There's a white boy they got on their team too. I think it's Riley Moss, yeah. Don't forget about Jadon Barron there, okay? But this white boy right here, man. Boy can play, man. That white boy Riley Moss can play. With that being said, dog, it's a wrap, man. Nigga coming into our trap and taking over our trap. Week 9. Week 9, Denver Broncos take over the trap. Make life hell for Bryce Young. So the Panthers start off with this: 0-1, 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 1-4, 2-4, 2-5, 2-6. Still got 6 losses. What are we gonna do? I think going into New Orleans, I would love to say this is a good spot for Haynes King or Kenny Pickett to take over. You literally got 2 wins at this point. This is a good spot. I can see them benching him going into week 10. I think they can bench him going into week 10. You got to, man. At this point, man, I mean, we're halfway through the season or almost close to halfway to the season, and you only got 2 wins. You got to bench him. Going into New Orleans, you got to bench him, man. If you want any chance to kind of even find some kind of resurrection, dog, you gotta bench him, man. You gotta bench him. If the Panthers don't bench Bryce Young going into week 10, I think all hope is lost. All hope is lost regardless, but yeah. I think you'll see the last game you'll see out of Bryce Young in Carolina will be in Denver. I mean at home against Denver. Unless they put him back out there, you know, I don't know. If you're new to the channel, guys, make sure you sub up, man. Make sure you guys stick around. Thursday, I'm talking about Dave Canales' interview with Stephen A. Smith. But I see week 10, that could be it. Okay? But for the sake of just kind of keep going, let's keep going here. Let's say they keep him out there against New Orleans. Tyler Schultz in that offense is dangerous, man. And I don't know if you guys noticed, they picked up another Georgia Bulldog, Go Dog, sick and woo woo woo. They picked up Zamarius White as well. So they added some depth into that running back room. But Tyler Schultz, Tyson Jordan, Trevor Etienne. In case you guys are wondering, Trevor Etienne went crazy on us last year with the Jaguars. Got Trevor Etienne, Jordan Tyson. You still got Chris Olave. And Tyler Schultz is just amazing, man. I mean, this team for the New Orleans Saints could really push for a wild card run. I hate that the fact that it's in New Orleans. Maybe this was a home game. If this was a home game, maybe we beat New Orleans, but I think at this time, week 10, they're clicking on all cylinders, dog. Yeah. Maybe it's a closer game than expected. I think the Saints are really going to separate themselves from the meat off the bone. I got Tampa winning this division, but I think New Orleans going to have something to say about it. I definitely think New Orleans has something to say about it. And unfortunately, man, although I do believe the Saints defense is old. They got a real old-ass defense. You know what I mean? You still got Cam Jordan, who's the matriarch there, had over 10 sacks last season. So I still think he's going to have something to say about it as well. But I got us losing to New Orleans. Baltimore Ravens, don't get me started, man. That's a loss to Baltimore. At this point, the season's already over. That's 9 losses right there. That's 9 losses going into week 13. I mean, going into week 12. I mean, if they don't bench him week 10, then you got Baltimore week 11. That could be it, man. I don't see Bryce making it to week. I don't see him making it to the Monday night game against Tampa. I don't see that. It's like my brain can't see it. There's really 3 games I'm looking at. It's either this Denver's game he could get benched, this Baltimore game he can get benched. This Denver or this Baltimore game really going to probably get him. It's 2 games, I'm sorry. Denver or that Baltimore game is going to get him benched. I don't see him making it to week 12. I don't see him making it to week 12. Not that I say he's going to get hurt. I'm not saying he's going to get hurt. I'm just saying that I don't think he plays well enough to make it to week 12. All right, let's keep going here. So here we are, 2-9. You got Monday Night Football in Tampa. Now, I told you one of our 2 wins will come against Tampa. But this game is different. You're 2-9 and you're playing Tampa on Monday Night Football. Now, shout out to Derek B. He sent me a little message saying that Bucky's going to run all over us. I don't think initially. I think we stopped Bucky initially. But going into week 12, Bucky Irvin on Monday Night Football, Derek Brown, as I said before, will be doubled and triple team, right? If you got any piece of a brain in your head, you double, triple team Derek Brown. And you make sorry niggas like Bobby Brown and Trayshawn Wharton stop you. If anybody, raise your hand if you believe Trayshawn Wharton and Bobby Brown are good options to pair with Derrick Brown. Let's see who the idiot is in the chat. Raise your hand if you honestly think Bobby Brown and Trayshawn Wharton are good pairings for Derrick Brown. Raise your hand. I want you guys to stop me when I'm talking crazy. Stop me when you actually believe that Trayshawn Wharton and Bobby Brown are good pairing for Derrick Brown. Stop me when you say Bobby Brown and Trayshawn Wharton are going to better stop the run. All right. Thank you. I'm glad we don't have any idiots in the chat. Okay. With that being said, Monday Night Football, after having 9 losses straight, or not 9 losses straight, but 9 losses, Baker Mayfield gets his revenge. Yeah. Have you guys ever seen a movie called JD's Revenge? It's a blaxploitation movie. Type it in, JD's Revenge. Very good blaxploitation movie. Well, Baker gets his revenge week 12, and yeah, man, it's Monday Night Football. Bryce goes out there. Y'all remember last time Bryce played on Monday Night Football? In the chat, does anybody remember what happened on the last time Bryce played Monday Night Football? Does anybody remember the team he played? Does anybody remember the team that Bryce played on Monday Night Football? And what happened the last time he was on Monday Night Football? Oh, okay. Since you don't remember. San Francisco 49ers went postal. Now, to our defense's credit, J.C. Horn and Mike Jackson did have an interception fest. But lightning doesn't strike twice here. Tampa Bay goes crazy. They're actually playing for a playoff spot at this part in the season. And we lose to Tampa. So we're 2-10. We got Minnesota Vikings. Let's say Bryce stays in. Now, everything that I'm doing now is if Bryce stays in. I don't think Bryce make it past week 12, okay? But just for the sake of just having a podcast, we're going to talk about what happens if he stays in, okay? Minnesota, I don't believe in them, but Brian Flores, I watched that preseason game, and I'm not saying that, he's going to have the clamps on us. I watched how he played the Ravens in preseason, right? Brian Flores caught a good game against the Ravens and locked those guys up. This will be with the starters, man. So, I think I may be underestimating Minnesota. A lot of you guys say Minnesota's could sneak us. I don't believe in Minnesota. I know they got Justin Jefferson, and I do know they got Brian Flores there, but Minnesota, just Kyler Murray. We always own Kyler Murray. When he was with the Cardinals, we own Kyler Murray, dog. We own Kyler Murray. I don't think we lose to Kyler Murray. Now, the only thing that scares me is the defense. Will that defense get to Bryce Young? Will that defense make life hard for Bryce Young? I can't say that, man. I can't say that. You know what I mean? We got a pretty solid offensive line. As a matter of fact, I think Jonathan Brooks is another big game for Jonathan Brooks, A.J. Dillon, and company. You know what I mean? This might be a game where we just kind of run all over Minnesota. I don't believe in Kyler Murray. I'm sorry. I don't care what team he's on. I don't care who's his coach. I don't believe in Kyler Murray. There goes your third win right there. Your third win comes week 13. Week 2, you get your first win. Week 7, you get your second win. And week 13, woo, you get your third win. Week 14, you got New Orleans at home. By this time, I think you probably put the bench in. Probably put the bench in, man. But let's say they're just going to ride Bryce till the wheels fall off. And maybe they want to, y'all remember that stupid shit they used to say, Bryce Young is the Reaper? Y'all remember that? This fan base so stupid. We was out of contention. And them niggas were rude for Bryce Young. Oh, he's the Carolina Reaper. And FYI, he's not the Carolina Reaper. There's a super fan. Shout out to him. And I actually know the brother. He's the Carolina Reaper. Good dude. Good brother, man. He walks around with the little scarf and the little Grim Reaper outfit. So that, to me, that's disrespectful to the Carolina Panthers super fan. You know what I mean? He's named the Carolina Reaper. He goes to all the Hurricanes games. He'll be at the Hornets games, and he'll always be at the Panthers game. So the fact that they named him that, to me, that was disrespectful. But anyway, by this time, a lot of you bulldaggers and your mamas y'all will be in the stands root for Bryce Young to play spoiler to the New Orleans Saints. Yeah. I can see you right now. Season already out of hand. You bulldaggers. Bryce Young the Reaper. Ooh, Bryce Young the Reaper. Bryce Young on the Reaper. At this point, I'm looking at college football. Who's going to the watching my Georgia Bulldogs? But anywho, we got the Saints at home. It's a different story from the Saints. I know last year I think we swept them, I believe them. It's a different story. This ain't your normal Saints. Nah. This ain't the normal Saints team. We get swept by the Saints this year. We split with the Bucs, but we get swept by the Saints. This ain't your normal Saints team this year. I got a bad feeling about these niggas. And when I mean bad, I mean they're gonna be probably contending for a wild card. Yeah. Although I think the game will be close. I think the game will be close at home. They will put up a fight. We lose to New Orleans. Okay? Cincinnati at home. I know the last time we played Joe Burrow, we played them pretty tough and lost to them. This time I don't think it's close. We lose to Cincinnati. It's not even close this time. Okay? Pittsburgh, Rico Dowdle said he got something for you. I don't know if you guys don't know, but Rico Dowdle's been saying I got something for you. Oh, and it's in Pittsburgh. In case you guys don't know, Pittsburgh is off the river, right? I believe what's that? The river or the lake? What's that? Erie Lake? Lake Erie? What's that? Lake Erie or Lake Michigan? What's that lake that runs in front of Pittsburgh? Don't matter what lake it is. Either way, nigga, it's in December. And you got the cold. If you ain't never been up north, I got family. My pops is from Cincinnati. Shout out to the 513, okay? When I tell you there's no cold, like that Midwest cold in December, I'm talking about snow up to your nose, up to Jeremy's nose. When you get that lakefront effect coming off, I don't know if it's Lake Erie or Lake Michigan, you're playing them December. Them boys, at this point in time, the Panthers they're gonna call coward. They're gonna cower out. Because there's nothing else they're gonna cower out against Pittsburgh. This is your second game where a team may rush for 200 yards. Saquon Barkley, the first one, Rico Dowdle's gonna do something vicious to us. If you get this nigga on your fantasy team, stash him away strictly for week 16. I'm telling you, if you play fantasy football, stash Rico Dowdle away for week 16. Don't forget they got Michael Pittman and DK Metcalf. Both of those guys can bully our cornerbacks. They're both big, physical kind of receivers. While Jalen Waddle is a more fast, quick, twitch kind of receiver, which in itself gives J.C. Horn problems. Do y'all remember Mike Evans bodying J.C. Horn? J.C. Horn don't do well against physical receivers. He don't do good against fast, quick-ass receivers. He gets real grabby. If you don't remember how Mike Evans used to, I think Mike Evans, we got to do a paternity test, is J.C. Horn's daddy. He don't do good against big physical receivers. And you got one by the name of DK Metcalf. Michael Pittman, he's somewhat of similar build. And he plays somewhat similar to DK Metcalf. So he can cause similar problems. But DK Metcalf is different. He's different. And we lose. They're going to run the ball. And they're going to run it early. They're going to run it often. And they're going to, let me tell you. I can't describe it. So I'll just show you. I'll show you. Let me show you what Pittsburgh gonna do. That's the first quarter. That's just the first quarter. Second quarter, they pick it up. Third quarter. Here go the third quarter. Fourth quarter. That's pretty much the Steelers game. Yeah, that's pretty much how the game's gonna go. A lot of thrusting, pumping, and running. All right, now. Okay, here we go, y'all. Seattle Seahawks. Do I gotta go over this shit? Let me hold on. Let me ask my producers. Hey, do I gotta go over this? Yeah, the Seattle game. I'm not feeling good, but I'm in here talking football. I'm finna lay down in here just a second. Do I gotta go over Seattle? Yeah. All right, my producer told me to go over Seattle game. I don't feel good. Talking about this goofy ass team got me feeling a little better. Okay. Seattle Seahawks, Sam Darnold, the Super Bowl champion, Sam Darnold. Super Bowl champion, Sam Darnold. We might mess around and win this game. It's not because we're gonna beat the starters, right? At this point, Seattle may be playing for a first round bye. I mean, they may already got the first round bye sold up. But I take that back. We're not beating Seattle because that division is loaded. You got the Rams, the Niners, and the Seahawks in the same division. It's going to be a bloodbath in that division. No pun intended, man. It's going to be a bloodbath in the NFC West. Bloodbath McGrath stuff, bro. And guess who I got coming out the West? Does anybody want to take a guess? Make sure you guys hit the like channel. Hit the like button, subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, please. While I'm waiting for you guys to take a guess, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. Who will win the NFC West? Guess who I got? Guess who I got coming out the NFC West? King Wolf said you got the Rams. Good guess. Let's see. Is that right? Anybody else want to take a stab at it real quick? Okay, now, with that being said, the correct answer is the 49ers. The 49ers will win the West. So what does that mean for us? That means by the time we're playing Seattle, I think they're going to be trying to fight for a wild card. I think all three teams make the team. I think they make the playoffs. The Rams will get in as one wild card. Seattle be the other wild card, and the Niners win the division. Don't at me. Come back to me. Come back to me in December. A lot of you guys been on the Rams tip. I heard Myles Garrett, Aaron Donald, Matthew Stafford, Pakanaka. I think the Niners gonna have something to say about it. Bang, bang, Niner gang. The Niners gonna have something to say about it. Don't you sleep on the Niners this year, okay? So because of that trickle-down effect, going into January's game against Seattle, they're going to be fighting for their playoff lives, literally. And, yeah, they're gonna maul us, okay? I don't really have much to say about that. We get mauled to death by the Seahawks, who keep their playoff lives just a little bit more closer, okay? Last but not least, Carolina Panthers do end off the season in the good news here. Y'all want to hear something? I got some good news for you guys. The Panthers beat the Falcons. The Panthers will sweep the Falcons this year. Woo! Bryce Young sweep. He always beat Atlanta. I got some good news for you. Bryce Young will beat Atlanta twice this year. Just to kind of recap what I said here. Hopefully you guys are screen recording me so you can save this. Save this. I don't mind you saving it. Panthers beat the Atlanta Falcons week 2. Panthers beat the Buccaneers week 7. Panthers beat the Minnesota Vikings week 13. And the Panthers beat the Atlanta Falcons week 18. And I'll give you a bonus one. That's 4 wins, right? That's 4 wins. We may split with the Saints. I don't see it. but I wouldn't deny if it happened. So no more than 5 wins. We could split with the Saints. But for the sake of this, I don't think we will. But let's say, hypothetically, it won't surprise me. 5 wins. With that being said, for the sake of this title, will Bryce Young be benched this year? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But what I will say is this. The smart thing to do is, if we in a situation to where we start off with the way I think we're going to start off, which is 1-5. If he doesn't beat Tampa Bay week 7, which I think he will, that means that'll put us at 1-6. You got to make the change early. You can't fool around and let Bryce handcuff us to his mediocrity. I don't want to be, and listen, if Bryce struggles, you can't be handcuffed to a 1-5 nigga, 1-6 nigga. You can't. It's just you can't. This team is too talented on defense to be handcuffed to a 1-6 nigga, 1-5 nigga. Unfortunately, do I believe it will happen? I don't think they bench him that early. The next time I think he gets benched is week 10. I think you're going to lose to Denver week 9. Week 10 is your next chance to bench him. Write this down. You got week 7. You got week 10 to bench him. And then you'll have week 13 to bench him going into Monday night. The reason why I say week 7 is because he has to beat Baker Mayfield. I think he will beat him, so you're not going to bench him there. After week 9, I think you got to bench him after losing to Denver. You will lose to Denver, right? And also after week 11, going into Monday Night Football, you're going to lose to week 11 to the Ravens. So week 10 and week 12. Because you're coming off a horrible loss to Denver. You're coming off a horrible loss to Baltimore. So if he's not benched by week 10 or week 12, you might as well just leave him out there for the rest of the season. Because at this point, we're already out of contention. Week 10 and week 12, you better bench him. If he's playing bad. Okay? With that being said, it's time for a commercial break, man. Make sure you guys like and share and all that other good stuff. Check out a word from our sponsors, Fanatics.
Yo, Panthers fans, you need to check out the IncredibleFanatics.com. They have the absolute best selection of gear. Get ready for game day and rep your team right. Click my link below to get yours today.
All right, man. Make sure you guys hit the link. It's in the description, and I will put it in the comment section afterwards when it comes to, what was that? Somebody sent a super sticker? Give me a second. 1 second. Okay, that was a delay. I will put a description to Fanatics and FuboTV as well into the description. Be sure to take advantage of our other sponsor as well, Book Seats. According to Book Seats, book like a hero. Your ultimate one-stop shop to plan and book your next fan experience. Book Seats. Real tickets, real moments, tickets and travel packaged together. My link is in the description below. So shout out to Book Seats. Thank you for those guys. Man, you guys have been phenomenal today. You guys have been phenomenal since I came back. Let me tell you something. People are noticing what we're doing over here, right? Book Seats reached out to me, 2 days ago? And they gave me a little offer here. And I said, okay, let me see what you guys are about. And, I decided to take the affiliate deal, right? And they gave me a good percentage of it. So thank you guys for that, man. People are watching this channel. People are supporting this channel. We're growing through the roof. Let's get to 3,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for 2,000. We're on the way to 3,000. And then we're coming for 6,000. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, man, thank you guys for that all in all. Any questions, any concerns here, man? Thank you guys for your prayers and thoughts, man. I haven't been feeling the best today. Man, I tried 3 times. In case you've been looking, I pushed my my live back like 3 times. I'm not trying to hide and trying to go on live. And, you got some people like to play games, trying to hide from other people. No, I wasn't doing all that. I wasn't feeling good. So I didn't know when I was going to go live. I didn't know if I was going to go live today. But thank God, I sat here, I had some fluids in me. I feel better already, right? I'm going to get here and lay in the bed here in just a second. But thank you guys for your prayer and support. What else I got for you guys? Oh, tune in Thursday. Stephen A. Smith does an interview with Dave Canales. Let me know in the comment section. Seriously, let me know, do y'all want a live recording? Or y'all want a live or y'all want a recording of the Stephen A. Smith reaction, okay? Shout out to King Wolves. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you for your your prayers, man. But do y'all want me to do the recording of the video? Because I'm not going to do it tomorrow because we got the joint practice. I got to cover joint practice tomorrow. Okay? And be mindful, y'all. I want you to understand something. I'll be going live later in the day. I'm back in school now. I'm at my university now. I'm taking 5 classes, and they're whooping my ass right now. We just got back in it. I thought it was going to be easy, but it's a lot harder than I expected, right? I'm jumping from class to class, so bear with me. I'm at the big university, man. So I may not go live in the morning as, like I've been going, but I'll give you what I got, okay? You said leave it for Thursday. You want a live? You want a recording? Let me know. Y'all want a live or recording about the Stephen A. Smith thing, okay? What is it? Ooh, almost 1:40. Wow, I've been talking for an hour and 40 minutes. Let me read some of you guys' comments real quick. I'll give you another 10 more minutes. Let me give you another 10 more minutes. What do you think about today's topic? Huh? What do you think about today's topic? Any feedback on today's topic, please? Make sure you like and share. Thank everybody for subscribing, man. We're growing, baby. I love the growth. And let me tell you something. I'm not in a competition with nobody, my nigga. I'm running my own lane and running my own race. I think there's enough room for everybody to be great out here. You know what I mean? Okay? And I will say this, y'all, and just to listen to me. I want y'all to do this, okay? I want you to do this on a daily basis. I need you to share this live stream with at least one person you know. Whether they're a football fan, whether they're a Panthers fan, whatever. Somebody that you know that's going to watch it, right? One person. I don't need you to share it with 10 people. I need you to share it, okay? Every time I go live, every time I drop a video, every time I drop anything, share it with one person. If you ain't got a Cash App, if you ain't got a super sticker, just share my live, share my videos with one person a day. And I'm grateful for that. As always, like and share and subscribe. Okay? Let's go to the comm section. How you guys doing tonight? Yep. Shout out to Derek B. Said, take your time, brother. Priorities. Yeah, I'm here, brother. I'm here. I'm not going nowhere. It's just gonna be a little later in the day. A little later in the day. Shout out to Scracker Blue. He says, and we're going to win the Super Bowl this year. I hear you. Shout out to Morgan Moe. He said 5 classes ain't no jokes. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to Morgan. Shit, bro. Them refunds, man. Seeing them 10-band refunds really got a nigga, but shit. That 10-band refund, it's cool until you got to do that classwork, man. Hey, Captain Mo. Hey, it's cool until you get them. Until you got to do that, man. Them classwork whooping my ass, bro. Yeah. But God is the greatest, my nigga. We all right. We gonna get it, brother. Yeah. Shout out to King Wolf. He said going to school in general is not fun. Yeah. 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 Shout out to Lonnie. He said, little brother, not the word. I hear you, nigga. Shout out to King Wolves. What's up, man? Yeah. Shout out to Dr. Mythic. He said, I seen a lot of people, analysts, got us winning only 5 games. Well, look, who's this? Dr. Mythic. Whoever you listen to that said we're going to win 5 games, they're probably smart. Yeah. And they probably don't do drugs. I would recommend you listen to people who don't do drugs and try to give you advice. Maybe that's good advice. But if they do drug and they're telling you anything more, matter of fact, I take that back. You can listen to people who do drugs if they're giving you solid advice. I know some good drug users that get some good advice. They just don't follow them, but they give them. Yeah. I don't see us winning no more than probably 5 games. Maybe 6, man. Shout out to Macaroni 704. Would you trade Chuba for a linebacker? No. Chuba sweet though, bro. Chuba sweet. And I don't mean that in no disrespectful way. But Chuba sweet. My nigga Rico Dotto picked on him. You know what I mean? My nigga Rico Dotto picked on the spot, took his spot. Right? I don't see Jonathan Brooks may give him a run for his money, right? I really like A.J. Dillon out of all 3 of these running backs. But you said trade Chuba for a linebacker, my nigga. I don't, nah. I say we use Chuba for what we can get out of him. You know what I mean? I like A.J. Dillon. Mark my word, A.J. Dillon will be heavy in this rotation. As I stated in the live stream today, he'll be heavy in this rotation come mid-season. I'll be right about shit like this, dog. I told you Rico was going to take Chuba's job last year. I told niggas that, bro. You niggas came on here, called me a clown, all kind of other stuff. I told you that. I told you that nigga was going to lose his job. Nigga said I didn't know what I was talking about. Seriously, man. That should be funny to me, man. I'm like a psychic, bro. I know a lot more than you niggas know before you even think about it. Just like with Scott Fitterer and Terrence Marshall Jr., Devin Futches, Jonathan Bingo, and a bunch of other stuff. I don't always get it right, man. I don't always get it right, but when I have a conviction about something, I'm usually right. Okay? Let's just say I'm shooting positive from the field. A.J. Dillon will be a staple in this running room soon, especially when it get cold. Because I'm telling you, Bryce Young ain't going to have no answers for niggas this year. Shout out to my nigga in the chat. Who's this? He said, you're my favorite content creator. Blessings, man. Blessings, man. Hey, listen, brother, there's room for you to have multiple favorite content creators. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I be watching, I don't watch a whole lot of people's content, but there's some real people. Y'all need to go support these guys. There's some real Panthers content creators that have 1 or 2 people watching their channel, but they go live every day. Man, support them people, man. And they be giving some good, man, I be peeping. I ain't gonna lie. I hate people peeping on my channel. I'd rather you subscribe and stay around. But I be peeping around. I see people that, man, they just dedicated to the, you know what I mean? I'm like the OG to the, or not the OG, I am the OG to this. I'm the godfather of this, right? I've been around for a minute. I ain't the first guy to do it, you know what I mean? But the way I demonstrate and orchestrate my channel, a lot of people took that format, right? But with that being said, as an OG in the game, my nigga, support them little boys, man. You got a lot of people with like 4 or 5 subscribers out there. And they real good people, man, giving out good content, man. Yeah, I ain't gonna tell you, man, if I catch you over on somebody else's platform, I'm gonna block you. I don't do all that stupid stuff. Nah. Support them young bulls, man. There's enough to eat. I'm a secure nigga, dog. I'm good at what I do. And I ain't worried about who can do what they can do. You know what I mean? I trust what I can do. You know what I mean? But yeah, be sure to go out there and check them boys out. Show them love, man. Anybody you see. Okay? All right, any more questions about the Bryce Young? Shout out to Matt. Thank you, brother. Shout out to Mattar Lomax for that super sticker. He says, it's crazy how many people got famous on podcasting because of you. Real talk, Big Katt, you the GOAT. Salute, man. Salute. Hey, look, brother, man. God is the greatest, dog. Your gift will make room for you, man. That's why I ain't worried about losing 20,000 subscribers and coming back up from the top. When you're good at what you do, the people find you. Take a little time, but this time I appreciate it a little bit more. I appreciate what I do a little bit more. Because when I had the mountain, I didn't appreciate it. My mind wasn't in the right spot. But God is the greatest. And thank you, man. Yeah, I try to give my advice to wisdom to content creators. Whether or not they give me credit or not, I don't care. But, I think there's enough room for everybody to eat. And shout out to everybody who's been inspired by me, right? Right? You know what I mean? I don't mean like I'm trying to punk nobody or nothing like that. You know what I mean? But give praises to what praises are due. You know what I mean? You can be you and be good at what you do, but you also can be influenced by somebody else, right? Like for me, coming in the game, shout out to the Sheltrons, right? Shout out to the Bowberry Biscuit, you know what I mean? Shout out to Sheltron. Shout out to Pat Coltrane. Them my OGs, C3. Shout out to them boys, right? I'm secure enough to say, hey, nigga, when I came into the game, them boys was in their lane. And I just kind of did what I did and took it off, you know what I mean? But, all respect to them OGs too, you know what I mean? Yeah, I ain't no hating ass nigga, bro. Shout out to them. And shout out to the people who, follow my format, you know what I mean? And respect to them, respect. And I wish them, the best, as long as they wish likewise. Shout out to King Wolf. He said, I saw your channel and I watched it. Very entertaining. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I thank you, man. I could be a little rough around the edges, man, but that's just my personality. You know what I mean? I'm not for everybody. Just like Burger King is not for everybody, they got Wendy's. Wendy's not for everybody, they got McDonald's. Yeah. Just because I'm not your cup of tea doesn't mean somebody wants a sip. But I respect that. All do. All do praises do. Yeah. Okay. Any more football topics? Any more we'll talk here, y'all? Yeah. Any more topics here? Shout out to Morgan. He says Captain Mo. I like that name. A.J. Dillon is cold. He absolutely is cold. Absolutely is cold, yeah. Shout out to Dark Play. He said Ryan Fitzgerald is a good kicker. We'll see. We'll see. Shout out to Macaroni. He said, Big Katt, Canales said for now. There's something I want to talk about, but I'm going to say before the reaction video. Did y'all watch the interview? If you haven't already, before Thursday comes around, please go watch the Stephen A. Smith and Dave Canales interview. Dave Canales ended up saying something that really caught my ear, and I was like, whoa, did he? You know, Dave, I told you, remember I told you there's two kind of BSers, right? You got the loud, big mouth BSer. Usually the person that's always loud and screaming and rambunctious. Those guys, they try to intimidate you to believe that they know what they're talking about. Then you get guys like Canales, who was kind of suave and real passive. Just because you talk to me in a calm manner doesn't mean you know what you're talking about. Just like because you yell and scream and think you can punk people or intimidate people doesn't mean that you know what you're talking about. Well, Dave Canales is a guy who likes to be passive and calm. But he let something slip out during the interview. Please go watch it. I'll be on it Thursday. I'll talk about it Thursday. Yeah, I bust out laughing. He talked about what happened when Bryce Young got benched. I'll leave it at that. He talked about Bryce Young getting benched in 2024. I'll leave it at that. He said something similar. Shout out to Dr. Mitha. He said, sounds real familiar. Which one? Which one sounds familiar? Shout out to Scracker Blue. Scracker Blue says, I love girls. Which part? Which part you like? Shout out to Dopey. Big Katt. I don't know why David Canales is so attached to this small quarterback. Well, sir, I mean, Sir, Dopey. Let me say something. If I had my check, if I had your check in my hand, right? If I had, let's say Dopey's the head coach. Dopey, let's say you're the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. And I got your check in my hand. And I tell you to do something for this check. Like, put Bryce Young out there. You think you're really going to do an interview and talk about, yeah, I don't like Bryce Young? No. You're going to do what the fuck I tell you when I got my check in. Dave Canales is a BSer. I told you. He's just a passive BSer. I told you that. For some reason, you're trying to act like Dave Canales believes in Bryce Young. Dave Canales don't believe in Bryce Young. I don't know if you know, but the Carolina Panthers have a guy. I think it's a brother. It's a big-ass brother. He actually monitors, like, these interviews and stuff. When he be at the press conference, and he be at these, like, when he went up there with Stephen A. Smith, he be in the room, right? Because Stephen A. Smith did a virtual call. He be on the side. You can't see him. You can hear him. You'll hear him. He'll be like, last interview, last question. There was what happened? I don't know if it was last season or the year before. A reporter asked him a question, and Dave Canales looked off to the side. Like, can I answer that? Y'all know who that guy is? Who's that big black guy? It's a big black guy that kind of screened like the questions. Yeah. Somebody had asked Canales a question, and that nigga looked off to the side and was like, can I answer that? He's like, no. Some shit like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, in other words, my point I'm trying to make is you keep saying Dave Canales loves Bryce. Nah. It's in his job description. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, it's the 4th line. Must love Bryce. Yeah. Must go on lives, must go on press conferences. You must do everything to put Bryce's in a good light. Yeah. Now I'm being silly with that, but yeah. Shout out to King Wood. He said, I don't eat fast food anymore. That's good. You shouldn't, brother. Fast food is horrible. Clog your arteries. Shout out to Deezy. He said, GMG Big Katt 900 on MLB. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Shout out to my dog, Deezy. GMG. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Shout out to Chris. He said, I don't know his name. It's a real dude. I'm not even joking. It's a big black dude that sits on the side of like the press conferences and stuff. Shout out to Wisdom Speaks Forever. I like that name, brother. Good name. How did Stephen A. Smith get a chance to interview Canales? Huh. Yeah. What you referring to? Stephen A. Smith don't like David Tepper? They did a virtual interview from training camp. They did a virtual interview. Yeah. Shout out to Scracker Blue. He said, Chinese food, is it good for you? No. Chinese food is loaded with MSG and a bunch of other artificial products such as red dye 40, stuff that make your tummy go, ow. Stay away from Chinese food. I love Chinese food, but believe it or not, brother, I haven't had this shit in about 3 to 4 months now. Stomach just don't sit well with me, man. I will say something else too. I don't want to be racist, so I'm not. But it's not good for you. Let's just leave it at that. Shout out to King Wolf. Makes sense why Ben didn't coach the Carolina Panthers. Yes. Ben Johnson ran the hell out of Carolina. Yeah. They said Ben Johnson came in the night before, got a hotel, talked to David Tepper on the phone. By Friday morning, that nigga was back up in the air in Detroit. Yeah. In case you guys don't know, Ben Johnson is from North Carolina. They ran him from his hometown, man. I really think Ben Johnson came back to North Carolina to get him some sweet, sticky barbecue. Good North Carolina barbecue. And they got off the plane to get some good, sweet, sticky barbecue. Got right back on there. Nigga took a 2-hour plane ride to come get some scuddered ribs and collard greens and get right back on the plane to Detroit. Shout out to Johan. Bryce scared Jim Harbaugh away. No, sir. No. Jim Harbaugh would have made Bryce. Did you see what Jim Harbaugh did for J.J. McCarthy? J.J. McCarthy is trash, okay? That's why he doesn't have a job right now. But David Tepper didn't want to give it the power. Yeah, now that's who I will say. John Harbaugh would have fixed Bryce. Yeah. John Harbaugh would have fixed Bryce. I don't believe in magic, but the nigga made McCarthy look good in college. So I know if he can do that to McCarthy. McCarthy is pure garbage. Pure garbage. You know regular garbage? I'm talking about pure garbage, my nigga. But, yeah. David Tepper didn't want to give it the power, man. David Tepper, he wanted all the control over the roster decision. David Tepper said no. Shout out to Macaroni. He said King missed 2 games, still made the 53. Oh, did the roster come out already? The roster cut came out? I thought that wasn't until a week later. I think they had like a week before they make that. Hold on. Am I missing something here? Did the roster come out? I thought the roster come out a week later. Somebody let me know. I got to do a video on that, huh? Shout out to DZ's blonde wig. He said Yocklet, Yakes, and Nuggets. Y'all let me know. Did the roster? I thought the roster don't come out until like a week later. Somebody let me know in the chat, please. They already made the final cuts. Shout out to DZ's blonde wig. He said Yocklet, Yakes, and Nuggets is a treat for Lucky. Oh. Okay. Oh, okay. The roster ain't came out yet. Sunday we'll find out the real truth. Shout out to Dr. Mythic. Shout out to Dr. Mythic. He said JJ would have fixed Bryce right out of Carolina. Shout out to Dopey Nightlife. He said, Big Katt, I wouldn't be surprised if JJ goes to another team and light it up. Yeah. I didn't believe in him at Michigan. I'm sorry. Maybe so. Shout out to King Wolf. He said, let me check. It's not until Sunday. Got you. All right, one more final thing here, man. Thursday, we got college football back. Anybody believe in their Tar Heels? Excuse me? I think it's Saturday, I mean. Is it Thursday or Saturday? I think it's Thursday. What y'all think the Tar Heels going to do against TCU? I think this is the last year Bill Belichick's will be in North Carolina. Ever since Bill Belichick got that young girl, boy, he been tripping. This nigga went from like 7 Super Bowl wins to out here chasing MILFs or chasing out here chasing teenagers. Can you believe that? Nigga 70 years old out here chasing teenagers. I can see she ain't nothing but a gold digger. I mean, I don't want to speak on a nigga's girl, man, but that girl a gold digger. Now, can y'all imagine Bill Belichick in the bedroom? Oh, yeah. About to give you that Tom Brady treatment. Oh, yeah. All right. 67 pass. You want to see my Super Bowl trophy? She said, Bill, just shut up. Just shut up. Don't talk. Baby, I'm about to go deep. Yeah, I'm about to call him 987-23 jet waggling you, girl. Bill, just shut up when you're on top of me. Shit, I guess motherfuckers love you when you got money, nigga. Shit, what's that nigga worry about, $100 billion? Anybody look cute with $100 million in their bank account, huh? He strike me as old tobacco chewing, too. He the only nigga probably be in there making love with that guy. Hold on, girl. I gotta get some of this skull out my mouth. You see? Hold on, girl. Let me spit that. You like that, girl? You like that, girl? Bill, please close your mouth. I got some skull on my mouth. That nigga be cutting up with that skull. She said, Bill, you got skull on my face. Shut up. I'm rich. All right, I think that's enough for today. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe to the channel. Purchase stuff. Memberships and all that other stuff. Purchase all that.
Panthers fans, don't miss any games. Fubo offers over 300 live channels, including sports, news, and entertainment. Get cloud DVR and top leagues for a free trial. Use my link below. Yo, Panthers fans, you need to check out the incredible Fanatics.com. They have the absolute best selection of gear. Get ready for game day and rep your team right. Click my link below to get yours today.